Hey, it's Jason here, and I want to talk quickly about Dealflow, accessing the right deals, and making sure you're really smart with utilizing your time as well as the time of your team, your deal team. So I have a client that I'm working with right now, and he's doing great. He built a deal team. He's looking at different deals in his sector. But one of the things he shared with me is that he felt obligated to basically go out and do site visits for every deal that he basically got in his inbox. He felt like if a seller provided financials and information, that he was obligated to go out there and shake hands and kiss babies and go through the whole process. And, he was telling me that it was taking him a lot of time. It was taking a lot of time for his deal team. And he was asking me how he thought, he should navigate that. How should I better navigate this? He was asking me. And I basically told him as follows. I said, inaction is a form of action. This is actually a quote that I initially heard from Ryan Holiday, an author who's put out a number of great books. I recommend you read his stuff. But Ryan Holiday put forth this idea that inaction is a form of action. I'll give you a quick dating metaphor that ties in. For those of you that are single men, have you ever found that when you don't text the girl back right away, you get a better response? Have you ever found that when you create space and when you pause in communication, you'll often get the other side to fill in the void, fill in the gap? Inaction is a form of action in relationships, in social dynamics, and with deal making. And so what I told the client, and what I would prescribe to you as well, is just because a seller gives you financials does not mean you should feel obligated to do a site visit. Quite the opposite, in fact. We don't go out and do a site visit often until we have agreed to terms and we have the deal under an LOI, a letter of intent, or in other words, basically a term sheet whereby we agree on the price and the terms of the transaction. And certainly we never do a site visit unless we're quite interested, and we'll never do a site visit unless if we've already seen all the financials, including tax returns, and that's a big one. But the point I'm really trying to make to you is if you want to increase the number of deals that you're able to execute, if you want to have more negotiation leverage, and if you want to basically be smart about maximizing the number of deals you're able to execute, it's important that you keep your powder dry with your deal team. You don't want them to get bothered by every single thing that comes across your desk. It's your job as the founder, CEO, and the managing director to filter the deals and to only act on those deals that legitimately have an opportunity to get executed because it's a good deal. So that means it has legitimate tax returns that show line 21 net income. It means it is a business that is big enough to be of interest to you, but also that is in that right deal range size where you can get it financed, where you will be able to execute and you will be able to operate it successfully. So these are the kinds of things you have to think about. And when you don't jump at every deal right out of the gate, what you'll find sometimes when you don't immediately jump to try to make an offer or to set up a site visit is the seller or the seller's listing agent, the broker, will say, hey, what do you think about the deal? And then you're able to speak honestly and say, well, to be honest, I didn't really like this, or I'm a little nervous about that, or I think your valuation is too high, or I think the asking price is too high, so these are my concerns. And at that point, now you have leverage. Now you can negotiate and say, well, for us to really proceed, we're only going to be willing to pay this much. Or for us to really, take the next step, these are the things we're going to be needing to see. We're going to need this price. We're going to need these terms. Or at minimum, I'm going to have to see these documents to prove that this deal makes sense for me to invest my time in. You're positioning yourself in a high value way. And that is going to get brokers to respect you. And candidly, it's going to give you more negotiation leverage with sellers as well. So remember, inaction can be a very powerful form of action. Actually, the most powerful form of action in some instances. Discipline is needed in deal making. It's not all about offense. It's also about controlled restraint. All right. For more M&A and deal making content like this, as well as if you want to follow along with what I'm doing with my investment group, Brighter Utilities, if you want to learn more about this, go to jasonpaulrogers.com, go to brighterutilities.com, thumbs up the video, share your comments below, subscribe to the YouTube channel, or subscribe to me on these other social media platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, etc. And I'll talk to you in the next one.